Welcome to the Nathan Nephew Show. I'm your host, Nathan Nephew. I want to welcome you back again. Lots of stuff happening. I mean, we've got lots of illegal immigrant children who are just looking for safe haven, escaping their own countries to just come to ours just because we're nice people, and they know that, and so we'll let them in, and we'll give them food, we'll give them shelter, we'll give them underwear. I also want to talk about soccer. I'm sure you've heard of the post that Ann Coulter, you know, that crazy woman, she's just really into this free market thing, and it's terrible. Okay. She wrote a post about soccer. Apparently she's not a big soccer fan, but I want to get to that in a minute. Did you see, as far as this immigration, so we have 50, 60, 70, who knows when it's going to stop and how many thousands of illegal aliens have crossed the border into the United States of America. I mean, it's been happening for a while. Back in January, there were postings on FBO.gov, the Federal Business Opportunities website, where they post wanted ads, basically looking for somebody to transport, maybe 50, 60,000 illegals around the country. And, you know, another one that they're looking for underwear, lots of underwear for these children that wear men's 4, 5, and 6X size underwear. I don't know a child. I've never seen a child wear that size underwear. But it's ridiculous. So we know that this is something that the federal government knew about. Obama may not have ever known about it. You know, he read about it in the newspaper like everybody else. And he's really mad now that he knows about it. He's going to do something. And what he's going to do, well, you know, actually I did hear that he spoke at something. He put out some statement. I don't know where this statement was or who he told it to, but basically told these people, don't come here. You guys, please don't come here. Stay in your own country. Don't come to our country. You know, his message to the parents was that don't be so sure that just because your children, because we're still stuck on the fact that this is only children coming across the border, don't be so sure that your children will immediately or automatically be allowed into the country. Are you kidding? Who's stopping them? I mean, are you kidding? They're coming up in the Border Patrol. What are they going to do? You have 10,000 of them coming across at a time or whatever it is. I don't know how it's working, but what are you going to do? They're here. Now what do we do with them? Well, why don't we ship them to the sanctuary cities? San Francisco, let them have them. I mean, I think that's fair. New York, let them have them. Seems fair to me. But some of those countries, some of those cities are saying they don't want these illegal or these immigrants, these undocumented Democrat voters in the country. Which, by the way, I mean, we all know that that's what this is. This is it completely is a demographic shift. It's not unintentional. It may be a matter of convenience and not of planning, but it's not unintentional that these people are coming in by the thousands, tens of thousands of them, and they're just being distributed all over the United States of America. Why aren't they being distributed back to where they came from? You turn them around, you say, I'm sorry. Or, you know, if we want to be really nice people, the humanitarians that we are, get them a plane ticket. Hell, maybe Obama could do without Air Force One for a week. Put them on Air Force One. You can fly them back. Then they don't have to get back however they got here. And that'd be good to go. Doesn't that seem like that's a little more logical? Rather than bringing them in, putting them up somewhere, paying for it, or, you know, and giving them underwear and transportation and food, and they're complaining about the food, give them food, and then just finding family that they have here, illegal or not, and just leaving them with the family, and not, you know, rounding up the illegals that they find, because some of these people are coming. I heard kids coming with notes attached to them or in their pocket or whatever that says, hey, I'm family of this person. And they go find that person. Well, that person's here illegally, but why would we deport them or arrest them for committing a crime? Because it is in fact a crime. They have broken the law coming into this country without being authorized. And did you see today the helicopter? Apparently a Mexican military helicopter of some sort flew over the border and apparently fired on a couple Border Patrol agents. It shot at them. It didn't hit them. They're fine. Everything's okay. But what the hell? I mean, the Mexican government promptly called to apologize. Oh, well, we are very sorry. We didn't mean to shoot at you. We just meant to shoot at you. Sorry about that. And we're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Just if you want to just send another, round of 5,000 children, mostly the ones that wear 5 or 6X underwear, send those over, 5,000 of those, and that's fine. Just don't shoot us again. It's okay. It's insane. Completely insane. Now, I also heard that Nancy Pelosi is going to meet some of these children in Texas, I think, when they cross the border, whatever they're doing. Nancy Pelosi, she's going to be part of the welcoming committee. Now, I mean, maybe she has great intentions. Maybe her idea is to scare them by showing up and getting out of her limo and saying, "Hi, I'm Nancy." She'll shock these children, the ones that wear 6X underwear, and they'll run back, and they'll tell everybody else that they pass along the way, you don't want to go over there. You do not want to go over there. Believe me. So that's terrible. But, I mean, maybe that's what she's doing. Maybe we don't give her enough credit, and she's going to try to scare the illegals back across the border. I don't know. I have no idea. This thing on, was it CNBC? This guy has written an article about gay leaders of big business and how it's not fair and whatever. It's intriguing to me how, whatever side of this you're on, you hear that there's overwhelming support for gays and for gay marriage in the country, that the majority of people support gays and gay marriage. If that's true, then why is there still all of this other buzz out there about people that have to hide the fact that they're gay? If there is overwhelming support, then it's not an issue, right? So I don't know that I believe that. In fact, I don't believe it. And that's not to say that I don't think that, look, marriage specifically should not be a government, regulated thing at all for anybody, gay, straight, whatever. That's my take on it. But it's just, we hear of the overwhelming support, and then we hear, but these CEOs, they can't, I mean, the CEO of BP apparently gay. I didn't know that, and it doesn't matter. Didn't stop the liberals from hating BP, did it? So CNBC was having this panel. Some guy wrote an article about gay CEOs, and he said how he contacted a lot of gay CEOs or gay business people or whatever it was. None of them wanted to be outed, essentially. None of them wanted to talk about it. So one of the guys, and I don't remember his name, one of the guys on the panel said, well, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, he's pretty open about being gay, right? I mean, he's out there. He's open about being gay. And the panel pretty much just went silent in their faces. I would play it, but it is not a whole lot of audio to it. It's more of a reaction of their faces of, nope, he's not. He's not open about being gay. He's He's possibly never actually admitted it publicly. So yeah. I mean, I looked, I found some videos from last year, Tim Cook talking about discrimination and these different sorts of things. And it was pretty clear that he was saying that he's gay and he's faced discriminations, but he never came out and said, I'm gay. I mean, supposedly he is gay. Everybody seems to know he's gay, but it doesn't matter. But the point is, CNBC anchor or guest, I think it was one of the regulars. I'm not quite sure, but coming out, I mean, on CNBC saying Tim Cook is gay and he's okay with it, right? So I hope Tim Cook, I hope it doesn't affect your next release of the iPhone coming up. Actually, I really don't care. I don't I don't have an iPhone. But really, what does it matter? Does it make a difference at all? Are you going to not go buy Apple products now? I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to buy an Apple product, so go buy something from Google, right? Because you agree with Google's politics. No? Oh, okay. Well, where else are you going to go? I mean, really, come on. It's not going to make a difference. If he doesn't start using the company as, leverage in the advocacy of whatever issue it is that you disagree with, then what really doesn't matter? It doesn't matter to me at all, but I just thought it was funny that this guy has been really quiet about it the whole time that he's been leading Apple, and CNBC just like, well, he's gay, he's open about it, right? And then it was like, oh, what was that an error? Yes, it was. I'm going to take a quick break. NathanNephew.com. Look me up on Facebook. You can email me, talk@NathanNephew.com. I love getting your comments. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear more of, interesting topics you want to hear next week, whatever it is. I'll be right back.
No college degree and mid-career? Make the choice that can make a difference this year with an ITT Technical Institute near you. At ITT Tech, we offer programs of study in fields including information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, criminal justice, nursing, and the growing field of health sciences. And now, ITT Tech is helping reduce the cost of education with a new ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. The scholarship can help lower your education costs dramatically. We've always believed pursuing an education is a sound investment. And now, with the ITT Tech Scholarship, education could be in your future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech for yourself, just call 800-771-0443. That's 800-771-0443. With the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. Now, it's your turn. 800-771-0443. How are we doing? For more information about graduation rates, the median date of students who completed the program, please visit programinfo.itt-tech.edu.
Red State Talk Radio is All American Talk Radio.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDoug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDoug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDoug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
The Nathan Nephew Show. Somewhat unique.
Somewhat unique?
Yes, somewhat unique.
All right, welcome back to the Nathan Nephew Show. Of course, I'm Nathan Nephew here. Got a few more minutes to talk about. There's still too much to cover in the time that I have here, but it is what it is, and we do with it what we can. I want to talk about soccer, not necessarily soccer, because I'm not a big soccer fan at all. I like sports. I love football, football, baseball, softball, those sorts of things. Soccer, just never really gotten into it. Hockey, never really got into hockey either. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I guess I don't really, I like basketball. I like playing basketball, but I don't really watch. Maybe I just don't like sports with nets. I don't know. And it's not necessarily the action, because I like watching golf. So I don't know what that says or what that means or anything, but Ann Coulter, everybody gets angry at Ann Coulter because Ann Coulter says what she means and she's not really afraid. Ann Coulter, I believe, is the one that said that when women were granted the right to vote federally, because we've went over that. It was a state issue before that overreach, but when women were granted the right to vote, that's when emotion got put into politics. Ann Coulter said that. So she says some things that are controversial, and she's not afraid to say them. And I think that's great. I think that's the basis of this country, really, is freedom. So whether you agree with her or not, I think it's great. She wrote an article. She says, I've held off on writing about soccer for a decade, or about the length of an average soccer game, so as not to offend anyone, but enough is enough. Any growing interest in soccer can only be a sign of the nation's moral decay. Now, that's a pretty strong statement, and she goes on to list a lot of reasons why she believes this, and one of them, the main point here, actually, that I think she's making, and let me be clear about this, like Obama is clear. When I read this, I was thinking satire. The whole time. She's making a valid point. She's using soccer, which apparently she doesn't enjoy, as a way to write a satirical post that makes the point about collectivism. Okay, so what her main point, her big problem with soccer, other than the fact that the games are so damn long and that they end up in a tie more often than a lot of other sports. Hockey's up there. But her biggest problem is that there isn't really a grand, overarching, obvious sense of individual achievement or individual glory, as she says, where when a football player scores a touchdown, the guy who gets in the end zone is the one that scored the touchdown. Everybody runs to him to celebrate, right? It's his achievement. He did that. When an outfielder catches a fly ball, the outfielder caught the fly ball. The example she uses, which is the opposite of individual success or glory, when a batter strikes out, that batter is up there by himself. He struck out. It's not a big collective thing. And it's tough to make this because the point with sports, because they are team sports. Golf, not always a team sport. So that you could say is an individual thing. You either do well or not. And it was you. You did it. But the thing with sports, and this is the thing that seems to be hard for people to grasp, is that teams are made up of individuals. Each individual achieves their own success at whatever their role is on the team, which makes a good team. And each individual, here's the really, really important part. Each individual has their own motivations and their own reasons for wanting to do well. Where if we take the original model that William Bradford had going on, the governor, William Bradford, look that one up, please. Maybe do some reading about Thanksgiving and the real origins of Thanksgiving. But when you start out saying everybody's equal, everybody's going to have the same exact resources no matter what, then you take away the idea of individual achievement. There's no incentive for each individual on the team to go above and beyond what's necessary. And if you're supplied with food and water and everything you need, then why would you work harder than you need to? And she's not saying that soccer players aren't athletes. That's not what she's really saying. What she's saying is, in soccer, at least from her perspective, let's not be so close-minded as to not think that maybe she views it differently than you do. From her perspective, soccer is a collective sport. The team plays, and whatever it is, if someone, the ball, there doesn't really seem, nobody's dropping a fly ball in the outfield and you say, that guy dropped the fly ball. I mean, yes, if you watch soccer, if you know the players, if you know the game, you're going to view it differently. You're going to say, hey, goalie, there you go. That's a good example. The goalie missed a block, or the goalie blocked it, or whatever it is, that's on the goalie. But there's not a whole lot of that in soccer, from her perspective again. So I really think that's the point that she's making, is that, well, and she does make the point about it being European and how that's a big drive for people to like it, like the metric system, which I kind of disagree with her on. I think the metric system makes a lot of sense. Though she makes a point about a foot or an inch being easy to visualize, I think that would come with practice. But it being a European thing, I don't know what it is, but liberals always seem to want to talk about how, well, in Europe they're doing all these great things and we need to be more like Europe. And apparently that means soccer. So really the point is, everyone's getting all worked up, which, by the way, was her plan, because here's the deal. She's a, what's the word? A public figure, and so publicity is really her job. And so she needs to drive traffic to her blog, get interviews on shows and things, and then she can sell her books. Like, We Don't Need a Woman President, or whatever the name of her book is. One of her books, anyway. That's what she's doing. So she writes this. I think she believes in what she wrote. I don't think she's making something up just to get publicity. But that's the goal. And she thinks that collectivism is a bad thing. She believes in individual freedom, individual achievement. And the thing that I keep hearing about, well, nobody made it on their own, right? You didn't build that. You remember that? That's the thing here. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about, is that individuals, and the incentive for an individual to excel is exactly what makes things great, and that's what makes this country great. If you have no incentive to do any better than the guy sitting next to you, whether you're on the same team or not, then collectively you will fail. That's just how it works. We're human beings. That's how it works. Of course, if you are successful, you didn't do absolutely... your mother carried you for 9 months, so I guess she kind of helped you out, right? I mean, you can take it to that extreme. Of course, other people helped you along the way, but you did it. Henry Ford didn't invent... he didn't even really invent the assembly line, but if he hadn't existed... You think things might be a little different today? Maybe somebody else would have had a similar idea, maybe a better idea. Maybe some of those better ideas would have been put in place instead of his taking over. But Henry Ford is the one that's known for the whole assembly line boom. Henry Ford, not all of the thousands of people that supported him in his life. And he did that because there was incentive for him as an individual to do something to improve the way things worked. I am out of time, though. NathanNephew.com. Look me up on Facebook. See you next week.